What do you actually do when somebody finally pays you to coach them? Like for me, I was terrified that I was going to screw up my first high-paying client. Like, what if they didn't get results? Luckily, after helping over 1,400 coaches start businesses, I now know every new coach feels that exact same way when they start. It's that imposter syndrome creeping in, right? After doing this for over 8 years, we've developed a proven system that, frankly, just gets results every time. And I want to share it with you so you don't have to go through that whole change your pants moment like I did. In this video, we're going to cover, number one, how to get better client results in less time. Number two, how to make sure your clients actually motivate themselves instead of depending on you for that inspiration and motivation. And number three, how to run coaching sessions so that every meeting creates massive transformation. First, I have to tell you how I learned my biggest lesson I ever learned about coaching. So my first client that I ever got, his name was Adam. When I was working with him, I got to about 5 or 6 weeks in, and I'm going to be honest, it wasn't going well. See, in the beginning, I wasn't confident in my ability to get results. But I was confident in my resolve to figure it out with him. I got on the phone with him and I said, hey, look, this isn't going the way we thought it was going. I want to make some adjustments. I want to own this and I want to pivot. And I really dug in with him on some new strategies that I wanted to focus on to help him get results. And he did. He got great results. And that's when I made my first big shift as an educator and coach. And it's point number one. Your training should create transformation, not just give information. Information is getting devalued. Transformation is not, and it never will be. So remember, knowledge is not power, execution is. So here's 3 steps to help your clients get into more action. Step number 1 is what I call braingasms. You have to break the paradigm, prove their current beliefs wrong to open them up to more. Step number 2 is to unnumb people's problems and dreams. All action is driven by desire for future pleasure or aversion from pain. This creates what's called cognitive dissonance, like a rubber band. If you can unnumb someone's true deep desires, it will internally pull them into action without you having to push them at all. And step number 3 is accountability, personal accountability, social accountability, and the third is paid accountability. This is what coaching and mentorship is. You pay them to make sure that you're taking the actions you need to. Once you understand the power of transformation, you still have to be able to deliver education that actually invokes change. I went to UCLA and I spent a lot of time getting lectured to in classrooms and reading big ass textbooks that honestly, I couldn't tell you a damn thing from. But I was also in Air Force ROTC, and every Friday in the Air Force, I had to take a class on leadership. In that class, first, we would learn something new. Then we would do an exercise on it. And then after we learned it, we did an exercise on it, the older cadets, like myself, would have to go teach it to the younger cadets. I can remember dozens of those trainings to this day. And that brings us to point number 2. Make them the teacher, because when you teach something, it sticks. Now you can do that with a system we give our clients called the RESULT system. RESULT is an acronym that breaks down like this. R stands for relevance. You always want to start off with why this matters right now. E stands for evidence. You have to back this up with proofs and stats and examples or results. This helps relax the prefrontal cortex or the BS meter in all of our brains. So now we actually care about what you have to say next. S stands for story. You need to make it connect with a deep, emotional, and relatable story. We learn from stories. We used to learn by sharing experiences around a campfire. U stands for understand. Teach them through a simple model or visual framework to make it easy to remember. The simpler, the better. L stands for live it. Give them something to experience it firsthand. An exercise, a challenge, a reflection, something for them to dig deep and get experiential transformation. And then lastly, T stands for teach it. Have them review it, share the concept, or teach it to somebody else to really lock it in. Okay, so now you have transformation and you have a system that makes info stick. But even with all of that, clients aren't always going to do what you tell them to do. I had a client of mine, Dr. S. He was one of the world's leading psychiatrists and actually ran a company that taught other psychiatrists and psychologists how to handle tough clients. And he told me that coaching is a lot like parenting and that there's never a one-size-fits-all approach. So you have to know what approach to use for who and when. There's 3 different types of parents: the brick wall, the jellyfish, and the velvet hammer. You ever seen those kids in the grocery store throwing cans of tuna across the aisle screaming at their parents, and their parents are just not doing anything? Yeah, that's because they have a jellyfish parent. The brick wall is the parent that's stone hard, all rules, no love. We all know how that child turns up. But the third one is the velvet hammer. It's soft where it needs to be and firm where it counts. That's the type of coach that we want to be. That's point number 3. Soft front, firm back, aka the velvet hammer. True transformation only comes at the perfect balance of push and support. If you push when somebody doesn't feel safe or supported, they'll give up. If you support and love, but you never push, they'll feel great, but they'll never move. They'll never get true transformation. Coaching is not binary. It's more of a spectrum. Maybe sometimes you need to be 70-30 brick wall. Other times you might need to be 80-20 jellyfish. Learning how to find the right spot and the right time for each client, that's what takes practice. So remember, getting client results is never a one-size-fits-all approach. And if you do it right, you don't have to do more for them. You help them do more for themselves. But before you can get results, you have to have clients to coach. So go check out this training over here and find out the 3 things you need to do to get your first clients and how to make $20K per month in your coaching business.